Good morning, guys. Wednesday morning. Cloudy here in Tennessee. But today I wanted to show you where it all got started for me with soft washing. When I started mowing, I was pressure washing houses, and I had a few that, said, hey, could you pressure wash too? And I said, yeah. And I had went and bought a pressure washer, and I just thought that you just blasted a house and that was all you had to do. Well, I had watched some videos, and yeah, see this house, they added that right there, so I have to be careful of that. The first time I did this property, they had party lights down through here, and all that was black and green, and there's no way you would have been able to get that clean with just pressure. So I think we washed the building the last time. We have washed this house every other year, like on schedule for the last 7 years, something like that. So it was due. I talked to them, and they said, yeah, come ahead and do it. But this right here is what got it all started for me. I showed up, and at that time I had done a small double wide, and I had done a small house, and they were really good level. I mean, this isn't high whatsoever. I mean, that's not high at all. But you can see years later that piece of vinyl is still sticking out, like here and here. I didn't do that, but it's there and there. But what had happened is I pulled my hoses off, and there was some mildew up there. And I pulled my hoses off, and I'm blasting. At that time, all I had was a turbo nozzle. And I thought, that was just the way you cleaned it. See, this house looks clean, and then you get up a little bit closer to it, and you start seeing a little bit of mildew and stuff. But I was sitting there, and I was just blasting away, and I'd went through here, and nothing was coming clean. And I said, then I get up there, and all I'm doing is blasting it with a pressure washer. All I was doing is getting it wet. And I said, well, dang, let me come over here to this side. So I come over here to this side, and as you can see, this window, every 2 years, just from this house, has the mildew, all the trim. The door, I do remember the door always ends up looking like it's brand new when we're done. And these vinyl windows, they have ring. Hey, good morning. But they got a bunch of lights. That up there always comes really clean. But I was just blasting away. And I was like, what the heck? There has to be a better way. So I just said, listen, I can't do it. I'm going to have to figure something out. So I get online. I start doing some research, and I find soft washing. And so I get me a downstream injector. I think at the time I used some Thompson outdoor cleaner from Lowe's, and just kind of pieced it together, and lo and behold, it came clean. And I go, wow, I wasn't here. I mean, in the time it took me to blast half of this side and blast the front door or front window, and it not even come clean, I had washed the whole place, and it looked great. So that was what got it all started for me, was this little piece right here. Is I was just blasting, and nothing was happening. And I said, there has to be a better way. And so that was the day I started soft washing, and I realized instead of pressure, I need to use chemicals, because all the green and mildew and stuff on the house, which I know a few years ago this roof needed washed, and I'd say it probably, well, I know it didn't get washed because I didn't do it, but it's not as bad as it could be. But anyway, I got this took care of, and it was the very first house I soft washed, and that totally changed the game for me. Like I said, that was the day I went from pressure to chemicals, and it has worked out great ever since. So we come back every 2 years, normally in May, and wash it. It always cleans up really nice, looks great, and we've never had any issues. So just to give you guys a little piece of history today. But I'm about to get wet, someone get started. We'll see. See guys, about pressure, the difference in soft washing and pressure washing is, do you see that? This whole back porch has it. I said earlier, you know, the first time I did this, they had party lights, and of course soft washing it, you got it clean. You're not going to blast this away. You have to chemically clean that, or it isn't coming clean, and it's all down the gutter line. These gutters, I've not even stepped back here yet, but these gutters I know are always dirty. I always hit them at least twice. So I'd say the bad side of the roof is probably back here, which the gutters aren't that bad. I must have got them really good and clean the last time, but they're not that bad. So, but I'd say the roof is. But anyway, you can't get that stuff clean just with blaster. You have to use a chemical. So another reason to soft wash instead of pressure wash. Alright guys, very successful setup. So they said the cabinet under the rhino head cabinet. Here we go. Everybody's tastes are different. How cool is that? This is something new they added, but pretty cool. But this is the first time using a pressure washer with the new setup. I got it mounted in the truck. No picking it up, lugging it around. None of that. So, pretty awesome. All of it's clean. There's no, not anything left, so you had to mildew and all that stuff on all that. These windows were covered in mildew. Get pictures of those. I mean, this is a maintenance clean. We come back every 2 years and clean it. They have these nice big vinyl windows, and they'll get covered with mildew, and we just come back and clean them up. A maintenance clean isn't a lot different than a regular wash. It's just, you know, whatever the customer prefers. But one thing I was concerned about, because I've been here before, is I didn't know to park there or over here. Because, you know, I got 150 foot of hose because I don't have my 100 foot. I don't have my 100 foot put on yet. I don't have the fittings for it. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I'm using the 50 foot that came with it. But between the loop and from here to here, I'm losing 25 or so feet. So this side, I always knew when I did it that I'd put the pressure washer down there on the end around there, and then I'd have to pull it. But I end up coming around here, and I didn't have enough room but to shoot from this way. Well, then when I came back to do the back, I said, well, I don't know if I'll have enough room to do the back. So I pull the hose this way, and there's one spot right here, and I said, man, please don't be that dirty. Well, it was dirty. So I wasn't gonna move the truck. So I ended up taking a hose, put it inside there, gained that, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, gained that 6 foot, and ran the hose through that, and then pulled it over the fence, and I had just enough to spray that. But yeah, you just got to figure it out on what works best. Luckily, this house is a house that we've been here before. We wouldn't wash in the concrete, but we went ahead and hit it a little bit anyway. It'll at least look a little better. But we got the hoses rolled up. Everything's looking good. It's still a cloudy day, and we're gonna get out of here. Gates are shut. That gate's shut. And let's make sure that gate's shut. Now that I say that, I'm questioning myself. See where my hoses were. And I'm telling you, if you guys wash, you know, if your hoses can get snagged on it, they will. Yeah, that gate's shut. If your hoses will get snagged on it, they will. These little clips, that one like right there, I hung on it at least 5 or 6 times. Then I hung on this one right here. But oh, I need to get some pictures of that. That's my money shots there. These gutters, I didn't think about it. I'm trying to hurry up and get gone. These gutters were normally what's the worst at this house. And you can see, which I mean they're oxidized on the bottom, but all that organic that was down through there is gone. And that's the main concern. So we stayed off that. We didn't nail that with water. Just rinsed no more than what a rain would have done. And yeah, so we're out of here on this one. I just wanted to show you guys. This was the first one we ever did. I guess you could say this one started it all, but it really did, because I had to figure something out, because all I was doing was wetting the house. I wasn't cleaning nothing. So I'll show you guys the setup real quick. It's gonna change a little bit, but just for now, I'll give you a sneak peek. We got that hose reel put on, and like I said, I'm using the 50-foot because I don't have the fittings for the other, but I'm eventually gonna plumb it with a whip line to the pressure washer. That one will be upgrading for more hose. That one's fine for now. What I end up doing here is I left enough room so when I get my 55-gallon drums, I can set them in here. One thing when you're mounting them in a truck or anywhere, you got to figure out how you're going to start it. So I needed to leave myself enough room to pull here, and then this one goes to the side. It's a weird pump. So this was without the 2x4s, it hit down here. So I put the 2x4s on it, strapped them down so they didn't go anywhere. I know it looks kind of ghetto, but it's rubber mounted, and then you got the tires rubber mounted. Raised it up, it's not going anywhere. I mean, the frame rattles, but it's not going anywhere. I pull my whip line or pull my hose, hook it up, and I'm good to go. So it's working great so far. It's the first job. Then I got my mix tanks right here. I just drop in and rock and roll. No lifting up. I think I seen yesterday that thing weighs 160 pounds. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's heavy. And for me to just have to step up in the truck and pull it compared to lifting it up each and every time, that is amazing. So just a different way of washing today. So you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.